What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Mattel WWE Elite Collection Wrestlemania Heritage Series Kane. Now, I'm really excited I have this guy in hand. As you can see, he does come with fire extinguisher and the stretcher, which I don't really like that stretcher, but nothing I can do about it. But really nice packaging. There are some flaws on him that I can already see, but I'll go more on that in the review. On the package we have a nice little side picture of Kane. And on the back, no real read-up, the exact same picture of Kane. The attire is from Wrestlemania 2000. Career highlights: Tag Team Champion, WWE Champion, aka the Devil's Favorite Demon, signature move, Chokeslam. Former affiliations, hell no, although that's way after this, but here's his logo. Height and weight are completely wrong. Kane is not 6'1", and he sure as hell does not weigh 212 pounds. But anyway, recreate the action of the WWE. The other figure of the WrestleMania Heritage line is The Undertaker. With that being said, what I'm going to do now is take a little break, get him open up, and we'll continue with his review, so sit tight, everybody. And so here we have the WrestleMania Heritage Kane pose and now the packaging. Now before we get on to the figure himself, let's move him off to the side really fast. He did come with two accessories, the first one being this stretcher. Yeah, this stretcher that I really don't like. I think this is just a useless accessory. Like, you can't do anything with it. It's useless. I mean, yeah, you can, like, I guess, carry figures off on it, but they do have stretchers that have the wheels on them and everything, so I don't know how I feel about this. But moving that off to the side, he also does come with a fire extinguisher. And actually, you know what? I'm not sure if you can see that, but it has a new WWE logo on it. That is really interesting. I didn't actually think they would do that for this accessory, so that's actually quite cool. But a little more paint apps would have been nice on it, maybe like a sticker about fire safety or that this is a toy or something. And I wish this was a little more flexible, because it's a nozzle, and you know, doing that, you're going to put stress marks on it, so I really wouldn't, like, play around with this too much. But overall, really decent accessory. I'm not going to say it's great. Okay, let's get the camera out again, so we can have a look at Kane. Oh, there's so many stories about this figure that I'm going to go on in a little bit. But before we actually take a good look at Kane, let's actually bring a few Kanes out here to get a quick comparison, shall we? And just because I can, here we have the Elite 22-21 Kane over here, and the Elite 12 Kane over here, the elusive one. And as you can see, he scales relatively well. He is just a reuse of this molding, but here we have Kane, his debut, WrestleMania 2000, excuse me, and when he was with Daniel Bryan. So moving this Kane off to the side because we don't need him anymore. Let's actually have a look at both of these Kanes. Now, which one is a better figure? Of course, the original one is, but that's not taken away from him. Now, like I said, he is nothing more than a reissue of this Kane with new paint. But that's not saying that he's not a good figure. As you can see, same mold, pretty much the same paint scheme. Even on the back, it's virtually identical in terms of paint application. Oh wait, actually there is a difference here, and this Kane has like the straps painted on. He still has the flame design, which if you can take a look at that, that is pretty sloppy. That is really, really crappy. And I don't say that about paint apps much, but you can see so much smudging on it. Oh my goodness, that's really horrible. But anyway, yeah, he is just a reuse of all the parts. And that is kind of a bad thing if you're going for historical accuracy. And let's actually zoom in on the biggest culprit of this. And I know a lot of people do not believe me when I say this, but that is the wrong mask. People are going to say, no, Kane did wear a darker version of this mask at the time period, and yes, he did. But for WrestleMania 16, his mask was red and with the black stripes. This is black with the dark red stripes. He did wear this mask, just not at WrestleMania. And as you can see, well, you can't see it unless I cover up one of the lights, but one flaw this figure suffers is paint apps, and you can't see it on camera unless I cover up one of the lights, but the red is painted in layers. It does kind of get thin and sloppy on some parts. And then we move on to his left arm for the next culprit of this figure. Is that Kane didn't have this arm guard at WrestleMania 16. He had his wrist taped. So that's a little inaccurate, as well as this glove. He did have the studs on both the top and the bottom, just on the bottom. So those studs were there, these top ones are not. So a little bit of inaccuracy for you, but it's something I'm willing to overlook because he's still a really nice looking figure. I'm not sure how I feel about this head sculpt, but it does what it does. It's Kane. So let's move the camera back out a little so we can go on to his articulation. Kane has the standard elite articulation. If you are unsure what that is, he has a ball jointed head. He can look down, up, tilt his head side to side. Hair does not hinder his articulation in any way. Head swivels left and right. He has a torso crunch, which if you bend the torso too far up, it does cut off the paint. And it's the same on the back, so you had to find that perfect blend of Kane posing, which if you follow the paint on mine, it's right here, but then it's a mess with figures like this. So kudos for Mattel for trying. Like I said, he has the ab crunch. Arms do a full 360. They go out. He swivels at the bicep. Single jointed in the elbow. Spins at the wrist, as well as bends. And it's the same for both arms. Swivels at the waist. I thought like the waist popped open, but I forgot that that's sculpted on. Like I said, swivels at the waist. Legs go forward, back. Let's put his arms out and down. Legs go forward, back, and out. He spins at the thigh. He is double jointed in the knee. Spins at the boot. And has an ankle hinge, as well as some pivot to his ankle. So all the range of motion you'd expect from an elite figure. So let's zoom the camera back out. So what I'm going to do now is get in pose and move on to my final thoughts, then we'll wrap up this review, so sit tight everyone. So here we have the WrestleMania Heritage Kane pose for my final thoughts, and overall, despite the historical inaccuracies, and I'm getting dirt all over my backdrop, he is a really nice figure. If you don't have the Elite 12 Kane, he is a really nice stand-in. The Elite 12 Kane is, of course, pretty pricey. This guy's still at retail right now. I picked mine up for $21.99. That's a steep price, but unfortunately, that is a price we're paying for Elite figures these days. Is it worth the pickup? Yes, I do like this Kane. It's really... It hits me with the feels. Like, I really do remember Kane wearing this attire, and I enjoyed this attire quite a bit. Historical accuracies aside, he is still a really nice figure. Granted, the accessories don't make sense. He did not use a stretcher or a fire extinguisher in his match against DX. But that aside, you're going to want to pick this guy up. He is still at retail, and he's part of the WrestleMania Heritage line, so happy hunting, and I am King of Dragons 5000 saying, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone. 終わりを告げて静かに立ち上がる